How's it going, folks? As many of you may know, I've been playing a ton of Pokemon Unite, both on stream and off stream, and I've been really enjoying it. That being said, I've gotten a lot of messages from people that are interested in getting into the game, but they're a little bit weary of the monetization based on things that they've read online. Today, I'd like to go through how the base of the monetization in the game works. We'll break down what you get if you're a pay-to-play player. We'll break down what you get a little bit as a free-to-play player. We'll answer the looming question, is this game pay-to-win? So without further ado, let's go into an overview of the systems at hand, and I'll break down some metrics at the end to kind of talk about whether or not I think the game is pay-to-win and why. At the core of Pokemon Unite's monetization, we have three different currencies. We have Eos Gems, the premium currency, which can effectively be spent on anything. We have the Eos Coins, which are used to purchase Pokemon as well as items as a free-to-play currency. And then we have Eos Tickets, which are used to purchase items, cosmetics, as well as item enhancement upgrades for the items that you currently have as a free-to-play currency. Now, if you're new to free-to-play games like Pokemon Unite, you may be wondering, Jeff, why do they have so many different currencies? Why isn't there just one that you can purchase, but you can also earn it for free as a free-to-play player? And the answer is that games like this are definitely predatory in nature with the amount of different systems that they use. And the reason why having multiple systems like this is on the predatory side is because it makes it harder for people to keep track of what they're spending and what things actually cost. And this is obfuscated further by the ratios of what it actually costs to obtain things like the Eos gems here. So you can see there's different prices for different amounts of gems here in the store, and you get different bonus amounts depending on how much you're spending. So with the $100 purchase being the largest ratio of gems. That being said, your first purchase of all of these gem amounts at the top is actually doubled the first time you buy it. So the first time you buy the $20 worth of gems, you actually get 2,440. You get 980 for $8, you get 490 for $4, and you get 120 for just $1. So the very first time you're putting money into Pokemon Unite, they give you double on all of these top four, which actually makes them a better ratio than the $100 worth of gems. The reason why they give you double on the very first time is because the most difficult dollar to part from someone on a free-to-play game is the first dollar, and by doubling it up, it makes it more appealing for people to want to spend money in the future because they've already spent money in the past. Okay, so past why they do it, let's take a look at what you're getting for the money that you spent. As you can see here, I've bought all of these top ones. I've actually purchased one batch of $100 worth of gems once on this account. So what are you doing with these gems? Well, the primary thing that you are buying in the shop is more Pokemon characters to play. So you can see here, I own a good number of Pokemon because I've been playing a bunch of them on stream and off stream for both fun and content purposes. The Pokemon here range in price from 6,000 coins / 345 gems, all of the way up to the more expensive Pokemon, which are 10,000 coins / 575 gems. Now, how much do these actually cost in dollars that you're putting into the game? Well, you can't tell at a glance, which is why I mentioned the conversion rates are predatory in nature because they encourage people to not realize what they're spending if they don't stop and think about it. Thankfully, I've stopped and thought about it so you don't have to here. So looking at both the cheapest and the most expensive Pokemon at the different rates of currency that you can put into the game. So your first 2440 gems, if you buy that $20 deal, they go a lot further, you can see here. So the cheapest Pokemon at 345 gems are about $3 each with this ratio of purchase. And the more expensive Pokemon are about $5 each at this ratio of purchase. That being said, you only get this deal once. So once you've purchased that deal, if you want to get the best rate on these moving forward as more Pokemon are introduced, assuming you spend $100 at a time, each of the cheapest Pokemon will cost you about $5, and the most expensive Pokemon will cost you about $8. That being said, you will note that these Pokemon can be purchased with coins, so you are able to grind them out free to play if you would like. When you first start playing, there are some tutorials here that you can access on the right side of the screen in the practice menu. And you see I've completed 6 out of 6 tutorials here, and you get a bunch of coins for completing these, as well as some other login bonuses. So it is very easy to get one Pokemon free to play that you would like past the starting one that you get by completing all of these tutorials. That being said, once you've gotten your first one free to play, the coins slow down a good bit. As was mentioned on this initial currency screen, you can see you can get up to 2,100 coins per week from here, and you get others from miscellaneous other spots. About 2,100 is likely accurate for my first week playing, I would estimate. And this means, again, looking at the cost of these Pokemon, for the cheaper Pokemon, if you're a completely free-to-play player, you can expect to get about one new of the cheapest Pokemon about every 3 weeks of play, and you can get one of the most expensive Pokemon in here, like Absol, for example, every 5 weeks of play or so. So, past just Pokemon that you can purchase, there are also cosmetics as well as items that your Pokemon hold during battles that can be purchased here from the Eos Emporium tab inside of this. So we can click enter here to get a look at some of these, and you can see these are where we spend some of those tickets, or again, you can use some of your gems, the premium currency. And then if we go down on the left side here, there are items to purchase, and the items are fairly cheap, 1,000 gold. You can get 2 items per week with those 2,100 coins, or they're 625 tickets, which are also free to playing in addition to the coins. Something else to note here is you can always exchange one of your premium currency for 10 tickets, which means that these items cost somewhere between 50 cents and $1 per item to purchase with premium currency, depending on what ratio you are buying premium currency at. In addition to these items just having a base effect, all of these items have 30 levels of upgrades that give you additional effects based on how many item enhancers you have spent on them. So item enhancers you can acquire from things like the battle pass as well as your account level, and you can exchange 10 tickets for 1 item enhancer in here. And again, you can exchange 1 gem for an item enhancer, since a gem is worth 10 tickets. Now, the item enhancers that we talked about are one of the contested issues surrounding this game that I've seen a lot of opinions about online. So let's talk about what the item enhancers do exactly, how much it costs, or how much effort it takes to get your items upgraded, and what's worthwhile upgrading to what points is why and why. If you click your X button here, you go down to Battle Prep to see all of your held items. You'll see we'll default here to Lucario, which is currently flagged as my favorite Pokemon. And let's take a look at the Muscle Band, which I currently have at level 23. So if I click into this and select Upgrade, and then I press X, it shows me the upgrade effects here. And you'll see this shows 1, 10, and 20. 10 and 20 are kind of the break points where you get key upgrades on the item, because in addition to these very small stat modifiers you get every time you level up an item, you get a bigger item status effect at each of these levels. So for example, the Muscle Band here does 1% increase based on the opposing Pokemon's remaining HP at level 1 through 9. At level 10, that increases to 2%, and at level 20, that maxes out at 3%. So these effects that you get from upgrading your items stop at level 20. Now, the things that upgrade past level 20, you can see my Muscle Band here is currently at 23, is the small amounts of stat modifiers behind this. So I've got a chart here that shows kind of the breakdown of what you can expect to see from your different items. So for example, at level 20, the Muscle Band gives you 10 extra attack and 5% extra attack speed. And then if you level it all the way up to 30, you get 50% more efficiency on each. You get 15 total extra attack and 7.5% total extra attack speed. That being said, it is not a small cost to upgrade your items from 20 to 30. Getting an item to level 20 takes a total of 567 item upgrade points, and getting an item to level 30 takes 2,587 upgrade points. And again, you can farm these free to play by getting those tickets over the course of your gameplay. You get a significant number of tickets at the end of a season for your ranked rewards, but we can also break these down to what it costs based on the gem amounts in the store. So for example, with that $20 purchase where you get 2440 gems, you could very easily take 3 items, which is the most you can have on a single Pokemon, to level 20. That being said, 2440 is not enough to take even a single item to level 30. The cost of taking an item to level 20 in that $100 gem purchase is about $8. And the cost to take an item to level 30 is easily the most expensive thing in Pokemon Unite, which is about $36. This means if you wanted to someone who was going to be completely min-max everything, you would need to purchase about $130 worth of currency to maximize your character with all level 30 items. So this would mean purchasing the $100 bundle as well as all of those discounted bundles at the top to max out a bunch of items. That being said, going back to my Pokemon here, you'll note that I've only got a single item here at level 30, and these other ones are at 20 and 23. And in fact, if we look at all my held items over here, you'll note that most of them are right around 20. In fact, I'm done upgrading things past 20 until I get everything to 20. And I'm someone who whales in pretty much all of my games. If I'm playing a game, I don't mind spending money on it. But I'd like to talk about why, aside from Buddy Barrier, which I'm putting on basically everything, because I'm pretty sure Buddy Barrier is busted, but that's a discussion for a different day, why I don't think it's that big of a deal to only get my items to 20. So, I brought some math with me to talk about the breakdown of why it's really not a big deal to have items at level 20 as opposed to 30. So let's take a look at a quick spreadsheet here. So what I have here is, this is based on the muscle band that we just looked at on my Lucario. And Lucario has a different attack amount at every level from 1 to 15. What I have here on these other two columns, C and D, is a comparison of what your total attack is with Muscle Band at level 30 and with Muscle Band at level 20. So there's a 5 attack difference between Muscle Band at level 20 and level 30. And you can see here 175 versus 180, that total Lucario attack at level 1 means at level 20, I'm at about 97% efficiency. And something that you'll note as my character's level goes up, most games you get to at least level 10, usually a little bit higher than that, because this attack keeps going up, but the bonus that you get stays the same. The percentage that your character is inefficient as it levels goes down. So, if you're up to level 10 or 11, you're actually missing about 1.5% efficiency without spending all of your item upgrade costs. So looking at the ratios of what happens and thinking about, how Unite really is a team game at the start, being 1% more efficient or even 3% more efficient here isn't going to make or break most team fights or scenarios where you're not in one-on-one fights. In fact, I would be very surprised if level 30 items were the make and break difference between anything other than 2 characters directly fighting that are the exact same character. And even then, I would wager those fights are going to come down more to who understands the micro of the fight that's going on, more so than who has an extra 3 percentage points when it comes to attack. Now, to show another example, so if we can show it's not just this one item where these ratios work the same, I've also got a chart here with Snorlax where I'm comparing not just one item, but 2. So what we have here is very similar to the Lucario chart. I've got Snorlax here on the left based on his level and his base HP at each of those levels. And then I am looking at the Rocky Helmet plus Buddy Barrier difference, level 20 versus level 30. So you can see here, it follows a very similar ratio to what Lucario does per item. So with 2 health items at level 20, I have about 93% efficiency. I'm losing about 3% efficiency per item to start. And then once we get up to level 10, I'm about 1.5 to 2% efficiency loss per item. So in the grand scheme of things, while you will definitely get slightly more stats by pushing your items all of the way to the top, it is not the make or break difference, I wouldn't think, in most situations. I would like to close today by answering the burning question I posed at the start of the video. Is Pokemon Unite pay to win? In my opinion, it is not. While Pokemon Unite is definitely a game I would describe as pay to compete, it is a game where you need to have specific items, either by spending your money or your time grinding for them. It is not a game where you can spend endless money to gain an in-game advantage in a game-to-game basis. This is not a game where I can throw $10 at Pokemon Unite and suddenly be a higher level in the game, or I can spend $5 and guarantee that I get the last hit on the Zapdos. If Pokemon Unite was doing things like that, allowing me to spend money per game to gain an advantage, it would definitely be pay to win. That being said, Pokemon Unite is much more akin to something like a traditional sport, for example, where if I wanted to play football, I would need to purchase pads to protect myself. If I wanted to play golf, I would need to purchase a set of golf clubs so I could perform well while I'm also being precise with the strokes that I'm making. And Pokemon Unite is no different. It is a game where if you want to be 100% optimal, you're going to need to grind your items up or spend money to get them up. You're going to need to acquire the Pokemon to fill the roles that your team needs to be filled. That being said, the overall total cost isn't that unreasonable coming from other hobbies such as Magic the Gathering. So earlier in this video, I mentioned that the price point to be 100% competitively optimal is a little over $100, which even in comparison to other video games, if I expect to pay $60 or $70 for a AAA video game, this is about 2x the cost of that. If I'm comparing it to other card games, which have made a lot of content for example, this is cheaper than buying a competitive deck in things like Hearthstone or Magic Arena, and it's definitely cheaper than buying paper Magic the Gathering cards, that's for sure. At any rate, thanks for watching this video. Feel free to let me know in the comments down below if you think there's something I missed, if one of my calculations was off or anything like that. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll be back at you again real soon with some more gameplay content here for Pokemon Unite, as well as lots of other fantastic things.